Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be doing my tier list for stage 1 for the Chinese region. So let's just get right into it. First up with Edward Gaming. This team, I don't think it needs to be changed whatsoever. I mean, they are still the best team in China. No other team can really touch them unless Complex Phoenix can maybe, I don't know, sort their shit together or something. But they are still one of, if not the best team in China. No, there's no counteract on that. I mean, it is just a pure fact. And considering that they were alright in Masters Madrid, just alright. That's really about it. I just didn't really expect much from them, but either way, EDG is still definitely on top. Another team which is also going to still stay is FunPlus Phoenix, as they will also be staying as well up in S tier, sorry. And just like and I'm not really surprised that they struggled in Masters Madrid, because everyone predicted them to be the worst team in Madrid, and they were. So that's just kind of that's kind of like a good, it's all right. You kind of expected it, but I mean, if they at least got one map off Carmichael All Out, then it would be a great success. But considering that they got two right, I wasn't really expecting much for them, so it's still an alright tournament from them. But they did make two surprising changes. One of them having out a new player by the name of Zhejiang. I'm pretty sure that's I think that's how you pronounce the name, but obviously I might be wrong. And the other one being Gai or Gui or Gai. I don't know how you say it, but basically these two. Now, I couldn't get a lot of information, I'll be honest, from any of these two players. I think one of them most likely came from CS. I think I think he was a coach in, I think, Inter or 17 game. I don't know, some Chinese team. I'm pretty sure some Chinese team, I'm pretty sure. But now he's now this as a coach, Zhai Zhong, I think I say the name. I'm pretty sure will now be the sub for the team, but I'm not really too sure. Could also be like a ranked player that they found, and he's just absolutely cracked. But I generally have no idea. But FPX would be saying on S tier. JD Gaming, were they the most disappointing team in China in kickoff? In my opinion, I think so. They struggled. But now they actually have a proper IGL by the name of YHM, formerly from Attack Assault Esports, which is a massive W for this team. I mean, they still have Stu, they still have Viva, Yahal and Martin, obviously, the full Rat and the Red Adam core, and they also have Jakuro in as well. And the problem as well with the team was they didn't have a clear IGL. They didn't have a fully leader. But now that they have YH Chen in the lineup, I think he's going to be a great IGL. He was a great IGL. Actually, I should say he was a decent IGL for Attack Assault Esports. I mean, he did obviously help them to make it to Master Tokyo last year in 2023. So he's still a good player, but I'm guessing Jakuro is going to be on the bench, which is quite sad because I thought he was alright. But I mean, it is quite needed considering that they need an IGL. They can't really replace, like, if they actually got Yoman in the lineup, that would be great, or like an amazing. But because of the limit of how many imports he can have, they only stuck with Stu. So pretty unlucky there, I'll be honest, for JD Gaming. But from how they performed in kickoff, I will probably have to maybe put them in A. I think they're definitely still in contention of making it to Master Shanghai or even into Champions, but I just don't really know, I'll be honest, about how JD Gaming are gonna go. Next up is Trace Esports, who made a very weird change. The change that being Luro King has officially joined the team along with Yi, both of them formerly from Tyloo. Why? I have no idea. I mean, they got Reflexion, who also went to Tyloo, so it was basically a trade between Trace and Tyloo. But it's such a weird and unusual change, which I generally don't think it was needed. I mean, I'm guessing the 5-man is going to be Kai, Fang F, YOU, Heibei, and Luro King. I think CXY and XYG, both of them are going to be subs. I think CXY, I think he's going to be the main sub, I'm pretty sure. And I'm glad that Yi at least is the assistant coach. I think Destroyer as a... If they actually put Yi as a head coach, I would have put Trace and B in my opinion. But because they didn't really change much, I mean, having Lure King in the lineup is still weird to me. It's a bit confusing. But it's still like an alright roster. I think they are maybe better. I think I'll probably put them actually still there in A tier in my opinion. Still definitely A tier. But it's just a weird change to have Luo King in the lineup and Yi as well as the coach. It's kind of weird to me. Next up is Billy Gaming, as they also made a change as well. Say goodbye to XPZ, thank fuck, and come in Bay or Bali? I don't know, whatever. Basically, the former Gen G coach. Great change, really excited about this. Two great coaches in my opinion. They struggled in kickoff. They basically, so they lost against Wolves, they won against them, and then they won against TEC, then lost against Trace. I expected a bit more from them, but that's kind of where I expected them to be, I'll be honest, in A tier. But with their loss against Wolves in the opening round in the group stage, I was a bit worried for this team. Like if they lost against Wolves again, I probably would have put them in B tier in my opinion. But because they didn't then they got rid of XPZ, which is a good change. I still say they're definitely A tier, and I think that's where they are still. A tier at the bottom of A tier, in my opinion. I think JD Gaming Trace, I think they are better than Billy Gaming. Next up is Titan Esports Club, who I was very disappointed about. Expect a lot more from them, and they struggled. And they've also made a change as well. AC has officially joined the team. AC, he used to play for Inter, I believe, which was also another Chinese team. I think York was a part of that as well. I think also Delb as well, I'm pretty sure. Maybe 17 Game, I might be wrong about that. But either way, Black, QE, I'm pretty sure, and Shameless, I think all of them are now subs. So the 5 men is actually going to be AC, Lockam, Arbo, Kawaii, and RB. Not too bad of a roster, but I expect a bit more from them. I mean, they won against JD Gaming in their opening match, they lost against Dragon Range Gaming, then won against JD Gaming again, but then lost against Trace and Billy Gaming. So, I don't, like, because this team doesn't have a lot of firepower, they have RB, and they rely so much on RB to clutch up rounds. I mean, Kawaii, he's been alright. QE was also, I don't think QE even played, but I can't even remember, I'll be honest. Arbo, he was maybe another shining player that is amazing, but it's mainly been RB. Like, everyone focuses on RB because everyone knows RB. Like you don't really know Shameless or Lockam or Kawaii. I want these players, these unknown players, to really show up and to really just give out a name from themselves. Like, generally. I want them to do well. I want them to improve. But they are just relying so much on RB to clutch up these rounds that I probably have to put them down in B tier. But just because they rely so much on RB to do well. It's just like, you don't really need to rely on him that much, in my opinion. Next up is All Gamers, which for some reason I put them in B tier in my kickoff. Oh god. What a travesty they have. Oh my god. They did not make a single change, which I think they definitely need to make a change. They lost against Dragon Range Gaming and JD Gaming quite convincingly. And I think All Gamers are maybe the worst team in China, in my opinion. I mean, if a team with full unknown quantities of Nova Esports can beat All Gamers, which is highly likely going to happen, then All Gamers are definitely the worst team in China. No joke, I'll put them all the way down in D tier in my opinion. Next up is Dragon Range Gaming, the Ascension winning team, who was very, very good and definitely surprised me more than I expected. So, it looks like I just realized that Hato 7 is also gone, so it is just now just Dingwei who's now the sub. I think there was also one more player as well, I think, on the sub, but obviously I might be wrong. Either way, the 5-man still once again is out TCH, Bukashu, Sharon 7, Nick, and Tavarius Luke. Dingwei is still the sub. LT is still the head coach. I saw something as well that UGM was out of the contract database. I'm not really too sure if that has been confirmed yet, but it's still listed here, so I'm guessing he's still with Dragon Rage Gaming. And I think from Dragon Rage Gaming being the only Ascension team to actually make it to the playoffs, I think they are definitely A tier. Maybe at the bottom of A tier. I don't. Oh, they could maybe be better than Billy Billy, in my opinion. There's definitely a possibility, but I'll put them at the bottom of A. I think Billy Billy and Dragon Rage Gaming, you can swap these around if needed, but I'll definitely put Dragon Rage Gaming in A tier. Wolves, maybe one of my favorite teams in China to watch just because of how weird and crazy they are. So they've also made a couple of changes. Well, I think FFS and Baby Blue, both of them are gone, and it now comes in Via, who I also don't know anything about, I'll be honest. Sia, he is still the sub, so I think Via will also be the sub. So the 5-man is still exactly the same. And with the win as well against Billy Billy, definitely impressed me a lot. They also made Edward Gaming sweat a bit from being this competitive, but then they kind of got trampled, I'm pretty sure, by Billy Billy as well. 39 on Sunset, 13-10 on Icebox. So I'll definitely put Wolves definitely in B tier. They have surprised me, so Wolves definitely B tier in my opinion. Next up is Tyloo, and Tyloo could also be in the running for one of the worst teams in China. I mean, they got smacked around by Trace, got smacked around by Nova, who I thought was going to be the worst team in China. And they made some pretty good changes, like they've actually have improved, unlike all gamers. So they added Flexin into the lineup, like I mentioned before, but they've added Aaron. Now, Aaron, he used to play for Ninjas in Pajamas, and I guess he's mainly well known for being the first player to actually try Deadlock, and actually worked out pretty well. Kind of got counted, I'm pretty sure, in the next game where they used Deadlock pretty badly. But at least there are some flexibility in Tyloo now. They've also revamped the whole Koji stuff as well. Goodbye Yi, like I mentioned before, went to Trace, and now in comes Shy, formerly from the Chaohui Edward Gaming roster, which is the GC team of Edward Gaming, and Sunshine, formerly from Team Weibo, I believe. Good coaching stuff, good play as well, Flexin and Aaron. I'll be honest, this trade as well between Trace and Tyloo is kind of actually a win for Tyloo. I mean, Flexin, he has shown that he is a phenomenal player, a very consistent player as well. And then they got Lure King, which I don't really rate that highly. I don't really think he's really on the level of Flexin. He can definitely surprise me, but I don't think he's really there in my opinion. I think adding Aaron to the lineup really shows a lot more flexibility that they can now provide. I mean, most of these plays, they can't really flex that well, but having Aaron as well to basically flex into any character is definitely needed. And the coaching staff is a massive plus. I mean, no disrespect to Yi, but I did not like how he really coaches, his team. And considering that he's been there, I think since like the very beginning of Tyloo, not needed. I did not like that. So now having Shy and Sunshine in, that's a great start. I still think, I don't know, because I think these changes that Flexin and Aaron is good, but I still think there's like some players like Slowly. Why are Slowly still here? I think Ak is still alright. I think Ice Against Guy Joe is still pretty good. I'm not really too sure about Ninebody though. HFMI, he's alright, just alright. He's just kind of just average. But I think I still, maybe if they got rid of Ninebody, I think I would be a bit more confident on them, but I'm not really too sure what the 5-man roster is actually going to be. So I'll probably maybe put them still in C tier, maybe at the bottom of C tier. And the final team is Nova Esports, who surprised me a lot. Okay, let's talk about Nova. So, Nova, I said, I'm pretty sure on my stream, when I was doing, I think, like the first 2 matches of Kickoff, that if Nova gets at least 7 map wins in this game against FPX, I will buy the Nova Esports bundle. And lo and behold, they got 10 on Sunset. Not good. Yikes. I mean, Lotus was kind of where I kind of expected them to be. Kind of like some like good plays, but struggled. I mean, Guang, he popped off. I just want to say on Neon, he was amazing. I mean, Ron never gave up. They used him horribly. He was like on like Sentinel and Initiator, but now that he's on the duelist role, he looks so much better now. I mean, Tyloo, kind of what I expected him to be. I expected him to be near Tyloo, then Trace. They just got kind of flapped around there. But they've had a swell into the lineup, which I highly rate. I think he is a phenomenal duelist player, but where are you really gonna put him? Because you already have Guang. I don't know how good Swell is really. I mean, I guess Swell can probably flex. I'm pretty sure. I think it's Pang Huang. I think Pang Huang. I think he's still flex for the team, but obviously I might be wrong. Maybe it's Obi-Wan, but I generally don't know. They also added a new coach by the name of Four, who I don't know anything about. So that's a bit of an unknown, but I mean, Swole in the lineup is great. I'm really excited to see how Swole goes. I'm happy that he's finally now in a team. I just don't know, like, are they really going to keep this 5-man, or are they going to add Swole in the lineup and to replace one? I don't really know, because you can't replace Guang. You can't really also replace Zhao Dong. For some reason, I think that's how the Chinese like announcer says it. It's Zhao Dong, not or whatever it is, because he's the IGL. So who can you really replace Swole with? Maybe Pang Huang, but Pang Huang, he's actually been pretty good. Obi-Wan, maybe even CB. I don't know. I don't know what the 5-man is going to be looking for, like for Nova, but I do think Nova is going to move up a tier, maybe better than Tyloo as well. So yeah, I mean, Nova impressed me a lot in kickoff. They were very, very good, especially in Sunset, but that's just because FPX was just overheating so much. But then when we got into like the second map against FPX, they kind of struggled. When they went up against Trace, they struggled. And then Tyloo, both were basically exactly the same, in my opinion. So that is my tier list for stage 1, and now, like, you know, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. It would really help me, especially on this channel. Let me know as well where you rank all these teams as well down in the comments below. I would love to look at them. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys the next time in the next one. Goodbye.